Hello everyone, welcome back to another movie commentary, this time for non-classic, sort of the 80s, 1985's The Goonies. This was basically a conjoined project between three big people. Richard Donner as the director, Chris Columbus for the screenplay, and Steven Spielberg for the actual story. So it was basically like a dream come true. The only one that was missing at this point was George Lucas, and I guess it would have been completed. But what is it? What is this movie about? It's about basically a mixture between treasure hunting and a bit of slice of life. And most of the people involved with this project, mostly the key actors, will later on have pretty healthy careers when it comes to the world of Hollywood. But let's do things in order. Start your copy before the Warner Brothers logo in 3, 2, 1, click. Have you have you seen all of you this movie, by the way?
I have.
I've seen this movie once before.
This movie's
I
a
don't think so.
Well, this movie is a classic. Like, for example, when you see Super 8, J.J. Abrams' Super 8, it's abundantly clear that the way the kids are written is clearly inspired by this movie, for example. This movie was basically... There we go, Richard Donner, a.k.a. Jova. You might remember him as a director of the first two Superman films. Well,
Absolutely.
Well,
And of course-
before they took the second one away from him, but that's a different story.
And of course, what better way to start this whimsical, nice film with pirates?
Well, actually, here's a better explanation. Have you guys seen Stranger Things?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Stranger Things, much like Super 8, the way the kids are written in that show is clearly very inspired by this movie, because this movie was kind of like... This movie is kind of a landmark in the sense that it established how to properly write kids in movies. And you'll see eventually.
Anyway, we start with Suicide Attempt. Why not?
You said this was a kids movie, right?
But that's the thing, Shira. It's an 80s kids movie.
Yeah.
Ah.
Hello. This is one of the villains of the movie, the Fratelli band. This particular guy is played by Robert Davi. If you don't know, he's an actor with a shit ton of things to do. He was in Predator 2. He was in Blind Justice. He was even in Halo 2 for some reason.
That particular escape...
Also, this guy with the glasses is Joe Pantoliano, by the way.
Yes, he looks quite young and for lack of a better word, thin.
Shiroi, the person at the wheel, is actually a woman, Anne Ramsey.
I know.
She's basically the mother of the two, and together they form the so-called band, the Fratelli band.
Oh my God!
If you need the word, it means Fratelli means brothers in Italian.
You say fraternity. It's Oh my God! I just realized, like the Beagle Boys family in DuckTales 2017 is clearly heavily based on these three.
The music, the score.
And there we go. Josh Brolin, aka Thanos. There we go, Shiroi. Yeah. Thanos started his career in this movie.
Yeah, we're gonna see him later on. Also,
You went on quite the career change.
This intro is great because it showcased the vast majority of the cast which witness this chase scene, starting with the girls, which since it's the 80s, the girls needed to be cheerleaders and all that stuff.
Basically, everybody, in the 80s, every movie starting a group of boys always needed to have the token girl character.
Yeah.
Well,
lady, maybe you shouldn't be in the middle of the fucking road.
To be fair, crosswalks and it's kind of a police chase, so
but she was literally stopped. She was stopped.
Wow.
And Corey Feldman as Mouth. In case you don't know, this is the guy who voiced Donatello, I think, of the Ninja Turtles, and among other things, that Talking Wood were in the Magic Voyage.
Basically, Corey Feldman was one of those promising child actors who eventually kind of fell into obscurity.
Well, his career is still pretty solid. He did still a lot of stuff, and he's still doing to this day. He was in Sharknado 3.
And here we have the Asian kid.
Data. Isn't this the same kid who was also in Temple of Doom?
You see, Shiro, this is when it comes to the kid archetype stuff. This one has it all. It has the Asian kid, it has the fat kid, it has the school jockey kid. It has we have all. There you go. Here's the fat kid who's always
Also,
eating and drinking, of course.
Pepsi milkshake. Jesus fuck.
Ew, gross.
Yeah.
But Shira, he's the fat kid. Fat people are always eating, don't you know?
I think she's talking about the particular.
I'm talking
food
about
it
the
is.
specific combination
So
that clearly doesn't work.
the chase continues. So how we're gonna get out of this one? The mama has actually an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're probably thinking, gee, I've heard this soundtrack before. Yes, it's that iconic Goonies theme.
The composer was Dave Grusin. I don't know what else he did.
And by the way, the movie was written. Well, the story was by Steven Spielberg, but the screenplay was written by Chris Columbus, aka
Yeah, like I said, the free people project, basically.
For those who don't remember, Chris Columbus was the director of the first two Home Alone movies, and he's also known for directing the first two Harry Potter movies.
Harry Potter, and also Pixels. We don't want to talk about that.
No, I prefer to talk about Gremlins. Gremlins is cool.
Yeah. So Shira, get this. Our main lead, the main protagonist, is played by Sean Astin. If you don't know who he is, imagine him a bit shorter and fat, and you have Samwise Gamgee from the Lord of the Rings
You
movie.
probably also remember him as voicing Hercules, the Disney
First Kingdom Hearts,
in the first Kingdom Hearts game.
Of course, he's the
Bizarre
guy
casting
who...
choice, if you ask.
Of
And
course
this is
he
Josh
needs
Brolin.
Miller.
Well, if I remember correctly, too, for the second game, they got the actual actor from the movie,
Yeah,
didn't they?
yeah. That's why it was a bit bizarre for that, but we'll get to that,
Maybe he wasn't available, whatever.
I guess. Oh.
This, Shiroi, is the athlete kid. This one here.
Yeah, the jock, basically.
The jock, yeah.
He's not completely stupid, but he basically he's kind of like Yamcha. He tries to be, bodybuild, but he gets a lot of a short side of the stick when it comes to, getting
And
the
look at
girls
that,
and
Corey
stuff like
Feldman
that.
was coming right before coming in, because obviously he's the pretty boy that the girls go for, so obviously
Yeah.
he's always combing his hair and looking cool.
Also, one of the cool things about this movie is a lot of the lines or the actors' behavior are actually kind of improvised.
Mm-hmm.
Donner was very generous in throwing in a lot of things.
I think he realized it
also-
probably helps
lots
to
of-
allow,
also-
child actors to improvise, just be kids. Which helps
Lots
for this movie.
of...
Get it? Because he's the jock and he's always exercising, don't you know? Yeah,
Also, lots of product placement.
yeah, as you can probably see, Shiroi, a lot of kid stereotypes came from this.
Yeah, every stereotype is here.
Like,
Okay,
Monster
okay.
Squad clearly
Okay,
wanted to be this.
To be fair, a lot of these cliches already did exist. This is just a film that revolutionized them and, grouped them together.
Kinda. If anything, it's not even technically about the Monde. It's ingenious because it implies
The
that
truffle shuffle.
Oh, jeez.
it implies that these kids had their own bunch of slice of life adventures. And instead, this is basically their last
All right.
story together.
Tom and Jerry cartoon logic, don't fail me now!
Also, that sound effect for the truffle shuffle.
Actually, to be fair, this one does work physics-wise. Good old Rube Goldberg.
Yep.
Don't you see, Shiroi? That's what. That's.
All of these just to open.
Don't you see, Shiroi? This is the best thing fat kids do. The truffle shuffle. Don't you know?
Oh yeah, by the way, there's a lot of swearing in this movie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
an 80s movie.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Neither
but
team.
that's the thing, Shiroi. At least for my country, because the Italian dub also kept that. People were hesitant to show this to kids in my country because there's a lot of movies, especially localized ones, did not have this much swearing in.
The kids in Super 8 and Stranger Things also swear again. Clearly taking cues from this movie.
Well, Stranger Things is,
Oh, yeah, here
from
we
what I
go.
recall, higher.
Data is basically all about
Oh.
trying to be like James Bond, so building a lot of crazy gadgets.
Sweet.
I'd be swearing too if I was a child in Stranger Things, honestly.
Yeah. Still working out some of the kinks.
Be careful, be careful with David, dude.
Yeah.
And David died.
Don't worry, go ahead.
And of course, it broke the penis.
Missing the penis. That's Mom's favorite penis.
Also, him just saying that's my mom's favorite piece is just a little.
Really? Your mom's favorite piece is David?
My wife would like that.
Yeah, basically, what's happening right now is that these kids that are living around here are
Wait, that
basically.
thing was bought with around 400 paychecks.
Oh, there you go. This is the mother of Brand and Mickey. And what the stereotype that's accompanying her is a Puerto Rican lady called Rosalita.
In that case, you probably should look for somebody else to do it, unless, of course, she's cheap.
Probably.
I'm not sure it's a good idea.
Oh, gee.
Just wait until this goes.
Oh boy, here we go.
You see, Shiva, because Corey Feldman is the pretty boy, that means, of course, he doesn't care about studying. He only cares about being.
He's too cool to do it.
Yeah, he's too cool to do so. So obviously, he doesn't know Spanish. Oh, there you go.
Okay. So, how does mouth translate this into her?
Ah, yes. It's one of those.
Always
kinds of
separate.
houses.
You need to always separate the drugs, kids.
Oh, now he has erectile dysfunction. Good job.
That the first episode of Mr. Bean also did that too.
It doesn't help that the Statue of David already has a small penis on its own.
Oh my.
Poor Rosetta.
You see, Shira, this was back when Steven Spielberg.
Of course, the mom is such a neurotic wreck that she wants the house to be clean when they tear it down.
Yeah, basically the plot is that the family is forced out by people who are going to buy the land just to build a golf club.
You see, Shira, this was back before Steven Spielberg cut off his balls and decided to go full family-friendly boring on us for the rest of his career.
I mean, he's not full family-friendly boring. He has done some interesting things here and there.
Yeah.
I know. You don't like those, but I wouldn't say he's.
I could say that he had lost most of his touch at the very least.
I wouldn't even say he lost most of his touch. Like, stuff like Warhorse is.
I'm still very angry.
Definitely a good return to form.
I'm still very angry, Joe, at the whole walkie-talkie replacing with guns thing, honestly.
Was
that his choice, or was that the...
It was his choice, yes.
Oh,
it was his
boy.
choice, yes.
Well, didn't they change that back in the most recent version?
True, and he apologized for it. However, like my country always says, Joe, apologies should not be made. They should be avoided.
Okay.
So
anyway,
here you go. She did manage to not notice the statue. Chunk's choices, like every Cage game, managed to hide it. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Mickey has asthma, so he constantly has to use a lot of time the inhaler. So this gives the idea to the group to actually go upstairs and see what's stuff in the in the attic.
By the way, fun fact, in 2017, this film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress.
Well, yeah.
It's basically culturally,
Interesting.
historically, and aesthetically significant.
It's regarded as an American classic, so...
Yeah, I can see that. Thanks.
Usually I'm the one who has the cool stuff. Okay, basically...
The fat kid is Jewish also, for some reason.
What?
I wonder if Ghost Story was referencing this with that character.
But the Jewish kid wasn't the fat one.
No.
Arguably was the fattest of them.
I'd say that's kind of reaching a bit. I mean, it wasn't like they circulated around him being fat like this kid. Oh my.
I see why they were reluctant to show this to children.
Sure. What goes in the 80s is fine.
The
Reminder.
Infinity Gauntlet. I could use.
Now, Josh. Let's not get any wild ideas. Besides,
Yes,
Marvel
of course.
is nowhere near about
Wipeout.
United.
Of course, wipe out half the universe.
That way, our house will not have to be torn down. That's the secret
Brilliant.
of Infinity War.
Let's just hope. Let's
Roll
just
credits.
hope everybody who's a culprit does indeed get run up in the lottery. So, anyway,
Here's hoping.
now that I'm looking at it, it's the first time I've seen the movie in years. The fat kid, considering the shirt he's wearing, it kind of looks like a young. No, well, that too, I guess, yeah. But what I was thinking was he kind of looks like what John Lasseter probably looked like as a kid. I mean, it's probably the Hawaiian shirt, because for some reason John Lasseter is always with Hawaiian shirts for some reason.
Sadly, his actor Jeff Cohen did not have that big of a career after this, alas.
Oh well.
Anyway, Mikey has an idea. He wants to see what the map inside. So what's the best thing to do? Give it to Chunk and wait until, the obvious happens.
Of course, classic. Finding a treasure map inside the special painting.
Spanish John.
Yeah, go ahead. I can't quite make out the writing, so I don't know if he's right.
Can we get a prequel based on that? Might as well.
Maybe. So kind of a shame. There were actually some sequels and whatnot planned for this movie, but
last year I think it was last year, 2016. Corey Feldman actually spoke out and said that at this point a proper sequel is out of the question. But we know how Hollywood behaves, so we will probably see a reboot or something.
Yeah.
Because
also,
of course we need to ruin everything.
Also, too, let's not forget, it was like as early as 2004 where some of the cast pretty much came out and said, yeah, don't expect
Well, that's what
new.
Wikipedia is saying also as well. Anyway, Mickey's narrating the story of his legendary pirate called One-Eyed Willie.
One-Eyed Willie.
Basically, this guy was a gigantic geek, and even when caught by the British Army, managed to hide all of his treasure and detonate the entrance of a cave, just so he could spite the English Army and being buried along with his crew.
You'd be surprised. A lot of pirates were, well, shall we say, snarky like that.
Well, more like the attitude, like in a sense of refusing to obey the law until the very end.
Again, one of the most successful, actually probably possibly the most successful pirate was that Asian woman who did the best thing possible, brokered a deal with the government, and then basically got to retire with a casino with a bit of royalty on the side. Also, Tio, you're right. The kid playing Data is Jonathan Luke.
Yeah, it's the same one in Temple of Doom. Thankfully, he's much less annoying here. Oh. Jesus Christ, Chunk.
Surprisingly, okay, he had an overall stable career. He hasn't really done anything since 2002, though.
Yeah. There you go. Someone actually went in searching the treasure of One-Eyed Willie, but for some reason never came back. This old guy called Chester Cobblepot.
So that's where the Cobblepot fortune came and went from.
Yeah, so Mackie basically gets an idea from all of this. I mean, it's not like they have that much of a choice, so...
Well, they could always try looking up his descendant in Gotham City.
And with that treasure, obviously they can pay the rent just so they can keep the terrain.
And we can save the sound from... And we can save
be
the sound
careful
from
what
the
you
bad guys
wish
who
for,
want to tear it
Chunk. You may
down.
regret it.
Oh, yeah. Let's just say Chunk's kind of the Wooby of the group, too.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that piece, that part of the movie when... These are the snobby people who want the terrain.
Why?
Because there's oil in it, I don't know.
And
Well,
next, I shall, of course, orchestrate the devastation of your entire land for the next few centuries, upon which I shall give you a pittance, and I shall reap the rewards, and thus dive into it with a bath made out of solid gold coins. Gosh, I really need to get laid.
Ooh.
you never get their balls.
Yeah, the scene is so depressing that Chunk even doesn't want to eat. That's how.
That's are you okay, Chunk? Like, we
This
need
is
to.
what we...
I think that's a no.
That's a Worf effect in eating, dang.
I really appreciate this moment because despite having been dicks between each other as brothers, with this particular moment, Mickey and Brad shows basically that for a situation like this, we still, have parental love, brotherly love.
Brotherly love, you mean?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we needed those 3-second scene. Shiroi, how accurate is that?
I am depressed,
Huh?
therefore I need to stuff down Chantilly on my...
Spry pan, yeah. So much Pepsi, I forgot that much in this movie.
You were saying, Ted, Shiroi? What was
No,
it?
like Shiroi, how much is accurate in terms of eating during a sad moment?
It's called comfort eating. It's very accurate.
Yeah. Hey, what time are you guys at? Just checking.
Go, we're 22, 39, 40, 41.
I'm about 10 seconds behind.
Oh, hey, Cyndi Lauper for some reason. Go to 23.
Alright.
Are you there? Java?
I'm at 23:14.
Alright, almost there. And now, Shiro, you're about to witness what could probably have been the best way the Avengers could have defeated Thanos in Infinity War. Anyway, Java, we're almost there. And 3, 2, 1, click.
There we go.
Yeah, how can you stretch the Infinity Glove? There we go.
Huh.
Speak of a devil.
See, that's why they went wrong.
I don't know if you could. I don't know if you could literally tie his entire body with the Infinity Glove too. I don't think the Infinity
Using
Glove
the
stretched.
reality stone, maybe.
You'd be
And
surprised.
for
I think
extra
they could.
measure, let's sabotage his bike. What a dick.
For the greater good. I hope you
The greater
understand
good.
this.
And since they're 80s kids, obviously they run their bikes everywhere.
Yeah.
Good for exercise, I guess.
Fun fact, Cyndi Lauper apparently at beginning really hated doing this song because she had a lot of stress during this time. Thankfully, in the recent years, she actually, warmed up to it and even did a parody for Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. That's a show I should show you sometime, Sherry Bob's Burgers.
And she doesn't have time, and since Rosalita doesn't know Spanish, she's just passing by.
Yeah.
Poor Josh.
Basically, Pedro, Bob's Burgers
I know,
is what
I've
would
seen
happen
it.
if...
Yeah, me too.
It's alright.
Essentially...
Mickey's dad, I forgot who is played by.
Mickey's turn, let me...
There's the cameo from Richard Donner himself, but it's later on, I think. That's racist.
Excuse you.
Oh, just wait what he does. Yeah, there you go. Fuck off. Dude, I understand everything, but you'll probably catch up better to them by going on foot.
What a sight. Thanos running around in a girl's bicycle.
Hey, still better than the Thanos copter.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Twinkies are gross.
Shut up, Chunk. Stop talking about Twinkies.
Twinkie product. Wow, so much product placement.
But
Yeah, but Twinkies get mentioned in like
I
every
completely
American
forgot
movie.
about the product placement in this movie.
But guys, food is what sustains me.
Well, that's technically true for all of us. Down to
I
its
forgot
very
which
core.
Don't
state
quote
these.
me like
Oh, Oregon. There you go. Very in Oregon. That's why the coast also. And this is basically the rival of Brand. A school douchebag called Troy, played by Steve Astin.
Obviously, Shiroi. We also have to have the douchebag bully character.
And they're in their sports jerseys.
Of course.
Yeah. The two girls are respectively played by Martha Plimpton and I forgot the other.
You can't. Okay, I get that they're not grabbing you.
Carrie Green. There you go.
You don't have enough strength to let go to force yourself out of that. I mean, how strong is this bully character?
Don't know.
Seriously. I mean, he wasn't even grabbing him like by the arm. He was just putting his hand on top of his.
And he died.
That's the last we see of him.
No, fortunately, no. Shut up, Mokuba. Sure.
The green screen is.
Yeah. It hasn't aged that better, but yeah.
Oh well, 80s be the 80s.
That's the thing. The restaurant must have been built way later on.
I love
Why
how-
would it be not Doblon?
I love to just call him mouth because apparently that's all he's good for translating.
Yeah. Well, in general, it's been his nickname also from before. That's again one of the cool things about this movie. It implies that these kids had a lot of previous adventures of their own, and this is just another one of them. But it does it in a way that it makes them believable. Instead, this can count as an introduction to them. They're taking this so seriously. Oh. But who could they be?
Fun fact, actually, the principal photography for this movie began on October 22nd, in 1984, and it lasted for a total of 5 months.
All right.
Quite a feat to make back in the day. Well, even to this day, actually. There was also an additional 6 weeks of audio dubbing recording done as well.
Yeah,
oh yeah, right. Basically, Shiro, I remember back in the 80s there was a thing where TV and media were trying to sell this narrative that drugs were the worst evil in the world.
So even subtly you will get the messages like say, oh no, drugs are bad, by the way.
I mean, you know, doing drugs are bad still in some context, but this was back in the day when, well, okay.
That's the thing, Joma. It was a presidential mandate from Ronald Reagan, so obviously we needed to follow it.
Thankfully, it wasn't as bad as the days of Reefer Madness, which outright demonized anything, anything so much having to do with drugs. But it was still in that point where they didn't quite recognize the medicinal use for drugs.
Oh no!
More Pepsi!
Well, remember, Teo, he needs to drink his Pepsi. Otherwise he'll die because he's the fat kid. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, if this movie were made in the 90s, how much you want to bet we would have gotten a cameo from Pepsi Man at this point?
Drugs. Which are good, which are bad.
Aha!
Uh-oh.
Well, that ain't good.
He basically just asks, who are these people? Basically, we're understanding each other, but we know what to do. But Mouth needs to be an idiot and actually open his mouth. Oh boy.
You know, the nickname definitely makes all the more sense every time this kid talks.
Yay! Potential maiming. Hostage cry.
Yeah. Again, careful what you wish for.
Get it? Because he's Jewish.
Is it beer or cider that she's given him?
Probably whiskey?
Whiskey? That seems a bit fancy for them.
I don't know, she looks like a whiskey drinker.
Maybe.
Although that's some pretty weak whiskey.
How can you tell?
Very... It looks weak.
It looks weak. Tio, question. Does the vodka look weak?
No.
Okay. I honestly have no idea how to tell how strong an alcohol looks just by looking at it I know
Me
from reading
neither.
the label.
I guess an expert can tell, but even still.
It looks
Well,
like
unless
when
you
you
know-
put too much water in squash.
Yeah. There's
Ah.
something. By the way, all the singing is genuine. Robert Taby is actually an official singer.
Doesn't surprise me. Ah, wow. It's funny to believe that he would later go on to be an FBI special agent in Die Hard.
Yeah.
And then he would later be a Bond villain. And then he would be a police deputy chief in Predator 2. And then he would be a strip club manager. Man, this guy has quite the career list.
This is such a wholesome movie.
It is. It really is.
I think Shira was being sarcastic with that remark. But...
No. Well, okay.
I think Jova was playing along.
Yeah.
We'll meet more about this character later.
Oh, yep. Without a doubt.
And the brother actually manages to catch up with him.
So they eventually untied him.
Well, he managed to untie himself and get on the bike, but he fell off the cliff.
Yeah. Kind of awkward, that.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Not
I agree,
exact-
lady.
Not exactly Thanos' proudest moments.
I agree.
Maybe that's why he wanted to wipe out half of humanity, to erase the memories of this.
I thought you were going to say it's because kids suck.
Wow, sure, his plan wouldn't get rid of all kids now, would it?
I wonder what's inside the bag.
I do wonder.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's dinner time.
Eh.
Remember, Shira, because he's the fat kid, he needs to eat every 10 minutes. Otherwise...
Yeah. Time for the motivational speech. Early on, actually. In fact, there were actually a couple of them in the movie, Proust in between. And apparently the girls ditched Troy, actually. They were bored by him.
Guess the whole dickish facade can only take you so long with the ladies.
Yeah, or maybe these two are actually more smarter than they look.
Yeah.
Which,
Hey, that's
for
another...
the time, it was actually very progressive.
Yeah, that's the thing. While the Goonies does you recycle a lot of tropes here and there, it also refines and actually subverts quite a lot too.
Ooh. There you go. Thanks. Ah. Girls. Like, how many things at the same time can go on? I mean,
You really do have to wonder if he really just wants to make some kind of records that people will remember him for anything other than that.
The power of boner is stronger.
Well, okay, fair enough. Good motivator.
Kind of. By the way, these are technically bear stock sound effects that we're using.
Shiroi, how immersive are they to you?
It's a product of the time.
Cock balked by you screaming.
Tends to be common in horror films.
Next time, maybe, or maybe now.
Better luck next time.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you see this movie as a kid, you're siding with Trunk and the others. But when you grow up, you're like, these are so annoying. The poor Bran just wants to get laid.
Yeah. Kinda sucks like that when the girl you want kinda sides with your little siblings. Is crazy, Venture. But hey,
I'm not sure
think
that
about it.
water was good to eat.
Nah, you think?
What? Alright. Yeah. Wah wah. Very relatable. Why?
You think that might be a bit flawed a mindset to go in with? Just maybe?
Maybe.
No? Okay, sure, let's do this. I see no flaws whatsoever that could possibly risk our lives or endanger us. None whatsoever. Don't you just feel safe with this plan, Shiroi?
There we go. Basically, this was the deposit of the Fratelli Band for falsifying money.
But of course.
Not sure that's the best way to do it.
Gotta wonder, who exactly are you gonna give these to?
It didn't even print through on the other side.
Yeah, it's just printed simply on one side.
Uh-huh.
Those are
Look,
some
I'm sorry.
pretty shitty, like, fake
There you
dollars.
go. Hmm? Of course. How more product placement can you squeeze?
What have they got? Ben and Jerry's. Oh.
Yeah, apparently they got also...
A Barbie in the freezer.
Yeah, they did mention something like a federal being shot, so...
Oops.
Of course, we need to eat pizza.
Didn't you order more than one pizza?
He needs more.
It's not enough.
Shira,
By the
you-
way, that slap was actually genuine. The director actually asked Anne Ramsey to hit him as much as she could.
Shira, you say you're always hungry, so you should relate.
Yeah, but I order
And
my own
unfortunately-
pizza. I don't share food.
And unfortunately, Chunk will spend most of his rest of adventure here, sadly.
Yep, captured.
Well, more like, taken behind. In this case, he's been left in the freezer.
So what you're saying is, Shira, remember kids, be sure to share, unless it's food. Keep that all to yourself.
Now this poor kid is stuck in a freezer with a dead
With
body.
a dead body. Well, at least there's a lot of ice cream. It's a dead body, Chunk.
Lovely.
So basically, the kids have no choice at this point, and they need to actually, get down in the hole, unless they want to get captured by the Fratellis. Also, thank you. It's a fucking backpack.
Oh, great. A backpack. Let's see what Spider-Man Easter egg is in it.
Yeah, again, genuine. Oh. Yeah. Anne Ramsey is not exactly the best feminine figure that you can imagine.
She's an angry mother.
Yes.
An angry mother who's greedy as all fudge.
Again, she's like Mrs. Beagle from DuckTales 2017.
So basically, that's the thing. Chunk's mission is to get the police. Sorry, you can't have fun with us.
Oh, wouldn't be too sure about that, but that's for later.
At least for the most part, sadly. And there you go, that's the properly start of the adventure. Now the kids are gonna get through this tunnel to search this supposed treasure.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, there you go, she's like Velma. Without the glasses, she's powerless.
Sucks.
I can't believe One Piece will eventually use this kind of joke as a reference. No. Still in development. Oh, hey, someone actually can help him.
Depends on your definition of help.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, great, it's still again near the body.
Wow, it's like going to Disney World, ain't it, for you, kid? Greatest adventure of your life yet?
Ask the Mario Brothers.
Well, this is the year that the game came out, so...
Speak of the devil.
God forbid they do any actual plumbing at this time.
Well, something, we could do something with these pipes, trying to, you know, make their attention.
Unfortunately, Shiroi, actually no, the Mario movie came out in 1991, didn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, Shiroi, they did plumbing in that one, and it was terrible, so...
It doesn't
whatever.
exist, it's fine.
I mean, to be fair, they did plumbing in,
Mario
Mario
Brothers.
technically... Well, Mario technically does do some plumbing in Super Mario Odyssey.
Not just that. Well, it's two things, Joe. First, it's Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers. You can get it on the Switch, by the way.
Oh, I know that.
Also,
And-
one of the guys has an eye patch. I don't understand why they put in the detail.
Because Teo, you know what? I don't. I have nothing. I have no idea what the fuck
Like,
that
why
guy
does
has.
the guy have an eye patch?
Because the theme is obviously
And also, let's take this also to shit more on Troy, because he deserves it. Also, he's reading a magazine called Guns and Ammo.
I think the better example, Joe, is Mario 3D World. So.
Well, I mean, that.
Where's the second
Ow.
man, I guess?
Reverse pressure. Here we go.
Classic. Anyway, I know that they go for the pipe in 3D World, but I don't recall them really doing plumbing, whereas in Super Mario Odyssey...
Well, they had to fix the pipe to go down it in the first place.
Oh, God, you're right. I forgot that interesting.
And thanks to that, actually an actual passage is open.
Voila.
Oh boy.
I love this joke.
Apparently, some of these confessions are tied to one of the people in charge, either Richard Donner, Chris Columbus, or Steven Spielberg.
You blamed your dog, and your parents fell for that?
Apparently.
Depends on the context. Who knows?
Okay, we have. Okay, Teo. I have my diagnosis: shitty parenting.
Probably.
Who knows? Maybe the circumstances
I mean,
were just
he's a
right.
he's a chronic liar and has an eating disorder, so the clues are there.
Oh no, that's not. Remember, Teo. This is the '80s, so being a fat kid who eats a lot is not an eating disorder. It's just how fat people are. See?
Totally.
Although him having an eating
How
disorder
old is this girl again?
does work.
Teenager.
She looks like 15, and I don't.
Her actress was born in. Check. It was born in. Done. get on the proper page. Was born in 1970, so by the time of this movie, she was 15. By the way, Chiro, just for you, in the official comment of the movie, the actress who plays Andy, the girl with the glasses, actually describes the moment when she's comforting her friend as their love scene.
Honestly, she does strike me as 100% the gay best friend.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, we found the body of Chester Copperpot. Unfortunately, he died very early on.
Yep.
I deem it was.
That's actually another stereotype, is the gay best friend.
Yep. As long as you don't touch anything. Wait, hey,
Except
candles!
that
Yeah,
candle.
all of them are normal candles, right? Save that for later. It's a Chekhov's gun.
Yep.
Oh, it's actually one of the medallions we need. Ew.
These kids have seen a lot of dead bodies today.
Yep.
Well, they must be really determined to save their neighborhood. I'll give them that.
Yep.
I mean, you know, as a kid, I'll admit I might have turned back at the first dead body.
You don't want to pull that.
Too late.
These are pirates, after all. They aren't exactly gun shy, or gunpowder shy, to say the least.
Yeah. Run.
I mean, unless you have a death wish, in which case, by all means, stick around. But yeah.
There you go. I guess. What could it be? Maybe it's Santa Claus. I don't think so, Andy. Oh no, it's Batman!
Close!
I mean, it's still a Warner Bros. Movie after all.
It's funny you mentioned Batman.
This is the Bat Cave, and this is where Bruce finally understands that he should become a bat.
So apparently Gotham City now is in Oregon, I guess.
Well, remember T.O., Cobblepot.
True. Remember, guys, all of these confessions are genuine, tied to one of the big three behind this movie, so guess game. Brilliant.
He's loving this.
Wouldn't you?
No.
But sure, come on, it's a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Unfortunately, those bats from before, unfortunately, actually gets out this way, and this gives away the position. Also, yeah, Joe Pantoliano's character actually had a toupee. Who knows? Oh, this is too lewd. It's full of money, so is this the treasure? Also, Mikey, you have asthma. Getting under cold water is not the best thing you should do. Guess. That's a sort of joke because Martin Sheen played President Kennedy, yeah. That series. Back when Martin Sheen was not playing a bad guy. Yeah, apparently they found themselves under one of the wells of the city we live in. Yeah, I never actually kind of understood this kind of, you know, urban legend, because it's actually really common around fountains and, well, throw your money in and your wish will be granted or something.
That a nice little thing people like to do for fun, or really
I honestly think it's just a way for, you know, the city who owns the product, like a fountain, to have people waste money on that.
Oh, yes. Sometimes actually do use that to help with the taxes.
And we also got a bit of a minor story in a sense that apparently Mouth had some trouble with love.
Well, what a shock. The pretty boy doesn't get it all, actually.
Still eating. Oh, bummer. And there you go. Apparently, after recovering from that incident in the bathroom, Troy is with his other dumb university friends here at the well. Yeah. Not sure it's the best encounter that you had all the day. Stop asking questions. Oh, Errol Flynn, always a classic.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Jeez. There you go. It's his signature. Writing down the... There you go. John Matsuzak as Love. He was actually a football player.
Yep, he was a football player before he became an actor.
Fortunately, sadly, he's passed away, I think a couple of years ago.
I believe it was in 1989 he passed away.
Check. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. Why data? What me? So basically, time for another speech about continuing, I guess. Yeah, don't say the D word.
Yeah, Goonies never say die.
It kind of this is kind of an implicit critique to the Hollywood system, where in a lot of kids' movies they never say the word die or death. They get around to that basically. Well, I'm convinced. Sort of.
Huh.
I mean, that's the thing, though. What the girl also said, though, is kind of true. They're still kids at the end of the day. Yes, they managed to get more than Chester Copperpot did, but oh well, they made their choice.
Here's the thing, though. We're the Goonies. We're a team. We can make it through. Oh yeah, by the way, they call themselves
Sonic heroes.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. They call themselves the Goonies. Don't know.
Yeah, that's the name of the gang, basically. Ha 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 ha. Look, I got more product placement.
We're just gonna hold it up in front of the screen for several seconds.
Yeah, so it's clearly visible. That was rude. Remember, Roy, most of these scenes also were kinda, well, not improvised, but basically, Richard Donner, in order to being a dick, he did not told almost anything to Chunk's actor. Basically, told him, basically Sloth is gonna do a couple of things here, and you need to improvise along with him.
And he improvised quite good.
No, basically that's the thing. Anytime you see Chunk scared in this scene, is genuine.
Yep. Again, it's the perfect improvisation.
A comedy series in the UK called Outnumbered did a similar tactic with the two youngest children in the family.
That scared them half to death.
No, no. In fact, a lot of the stuff that the children were saying that was improvised was scary on its own. You didn't need to scare the children.
Oh joy! He's definitely a pretty good actor, being a football player and all. As you can imagine, this is the movie he's best recognized for.
Yeah. I like candy bars. You like candy bar. Let's be friends.
Ah, to be fair, it's not like the guy's family was treating him that well.
Basically, Chunk is the first decent people he has found in a while.
Yeah, that's right. Because you see, Fluffy is actually the older brother of two of the Klein family. That's the thing. He's deformed, but he's strong as all heck.
Yep. Yeah. Oh. But which is the correct one? The implication that you just told Brad are best avoided.
Yes.
Oops.
Big oops.
It's a fucking rock. Worse. Let's use that close up. Eesh.
You almost got impaled.
Yep.
What next whimsical ventures will we come across?
Saved by dentures. That's the problem. Yeah, I think this is Richard Donner. I think the sheriff or Reeves later on. But that's the thing. Chunk has pranked the sheriff a lot, so sadly, the sheriff is not very inclined to believe him.
Boy who cried wolf.
That's unfortunate with today's standards.
Oh, yeah.
That's the issue with
Family's
giving a
reference,
pathological lie.
yay!
Well, that's a nice moral to teach kids. If you constantly prank the police, yeah, that'll
It's the
happen.
boy who cried wolf story, basically.
Mm.
How did they manage to get down there? They did not really have a rope.
That's why we cut to a different scene.
Yes, just don't think about it.
Yeah, ignore this.
Given everything else they stuffed into this movie, I guess we can let that one go. Who knows? Maybe the brainy one had a rope included.
It's time for some more tube shenanigans. Oops. I think he's not just murdered someone.
I think so.
He's a bit rough like that.
Unfortunately, Brad, you may have done your stupidest decision in your life.
Oh boy.
And it's been quite a day for that.
And there we go. Like, Brad gets even his girlfriend stolen by even his brother. Well, accidentally, but...
Dang.
Again, Brad really is kind of like Yamcha in that sense.
At least, I think he at least eventually gets the girl, unlike Yamcha.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
But so Yamcha loses the girl to the guy who killed him.
And there still remains possibly remains one of the weakest of the Earthlings.
Well, technically,
Yes,
Jove
it's
was
karma for how he was in his intro.
Well, technically, Jove was Nappa, or if you prefer, the Cyberman who killed Yamcha, but sure.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Pro tip, girls, next time you kiss, do it with your eyes open first.
Bless her, she doesn't know.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. They actually had a rope.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
They caught up pretty quickly.
Well, they didn't need to activate the traps and they're more adult speed.
Yeah. Also, determination for money and all that.
No. There we go, so it's time to, run. I wonder what this rock is. Circle Earth. Oops. Yeah, the rope was a bit old for that.
Mm-hmm.
But data is another one of these inventions, and it's time for showcase what parts of Chris Columbus' creed made into the plot.
Oh, yeah. Show of hands, who here has seen Home Alone?
Me.
Me.
Home Alone is one of my favorite movies.
Well, for those who love Home Alone, get ready for this.
Yeah, fuck you. What an idiot. Yes, she said you're full, you're an idiot. Fortunately, they need to set this next pair of trap. Oh, yeah, still waiting for that check of the gun, by the way.
Ouch.
And boo! Poor Joe.
Yeah.
So in order for the next trap is a piano, more like an organ, I guess. But you get
Boy,
the idea.
Willie really had a lot of creativity on the brain.
And time and men to use. Well, these are made with a skeleton, so it's probably one of the crewmates.
I mean, I've seen pirates do outlandish stuff, but a piano used as a trap? Oh.
Sorry, Ma, I guess you're not gonna have nephews.
Those will take time to heal.
They're in pain right now, lady.
Look, I know you don't have them, but be sympathetic, please.
All right. Roll call, Jove. I forgot. Who plays the piano in your family?
My dad, I play some, but not as much. But mainly my dad's the pro piano player. My mom plays a bit, so does my sister. Why?
All right, Jova. So I guess in a situation like this, you will have to fill the role.
Oh. Okay, then. Oh, yes, goody.
They need to basically, in order to open the door, they need to play the tune correctly. There you go. I can't read that musically wise, especially for an instrument like this.
It looks simple enough.
And that's the thing, yeah. Andy's the only one who knows how to play this, and she doesn't remember that much. So that's the thing. For every correct tune, the bridge lowers a bit.
How sportive.
Oh.
But for every mistake, part of the floor drops. So
how
get it
did
right.
he even attach
I
the
have
piano
no idea.
mechanisms to the floor? Like, at least in Indiana Jones, I mean, it's stepping on the platforms, but dang, Willie Jerry rigged this stuff to apparently be remote control to a piano.
They're coming. Oh shit.
I'd be really pissed off too if I were him.
Yeah.
It's not been his best day.
Nope.
Yeah, believe in the heart of the bones, I guess.
How much do you have built into that thing?
I don't know, but it
Just
causes wacky
enough.
hijinks because, I mean, it's a Warner Bros. Movie anyway. Might as well use some Looney Tunes stick. Oh shit!
Let it be forever known, that left a mark.
Ha 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 ha! Funny. Yay! She managed. There you go. Time for the water slide. Might as well. Which begs the question still, how did why Willie manage to get up from here? I don't know.
Also a much more appealing water slide than whatever the fuck went on in Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
And there we go. Alright, fun fact, for this scene, the actors were not shown what it's about to pop up, so in order to get a genuine reaction, but they needed a second take because the first time everyone basically said too much holy shit.
Yeah.
So Props to Richard Donner for trying at least.
Yeah.
So now there's too much swearing.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, if you overuse it, it does kind of wear out its welcome.
David Cage as a prime example.
Pedro. Implying David Cage is even in these writers' leagues.
Well, I'm not saying, oh, of course not, Joe. I'm just saying that that's a prime example of too much of bad use of swearing. Where every character is constantly saying fucking for you, despite not even being angry. Like it's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a galleon, it actually preserved itself way better with all this seawater.
Guess maybe something about the cave helped it.
I
The
suppose.
Inferno. An iconic set piece in movie history.
What? Yeah, just a skeleton.
You're not exactly gonna meet these guys in the flesh.
And that fall fell again. Voodoo doll. This point, everyone is went insane. Oh, great! Another trap.
Well, what? You didn't think the ship would have a trap too? Please, that's where parts often save the best for last.
That's not an answer, but okay. Apparently, Mikey's determination is being rewarded because now he's face to face with One-Eye Willie himself.
Lovely.
Well, or whatever remains of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. True pirates until the end.
Darn tootin'.
Yeah, for some reason now Mickey feels compelled to talk with the decaying corpse.
A sign of respect, you know? Look,
Or
dude.
craziness.
Huh. Was something in his inhaler last time he used it?
Oops. Yeah, apparently why Willie was like that because he had a genetic defect.
Mm-hmm.
He literally did not have an eye. Guess. Hmm. Yeah, I swear I wasn't talking, guys.
I think the best question is how the fudge did Willie somehow fit an entire galleon into this cave slot?
I remember he managed to hide it and then bombed the entrance.
Still, though, those sails are open pretty wide. You think he'd have closed those?
Not only that, you think that with the rising tide, the galleon eventually will, stick to the ceiling and break part of it. But again,
I guess thankfully the cave
asking
is
too much
big.
for wood. I
I guess
guess
to be fair, the cave is big enough to give it some room there still.
Yeah.
I think that ship is still in saleable condition.
Mickey basically had the bright idea: do not touch the one that's with.
Yeah.
Guess Willie.
Otherwise, this would be a very different movie at this point.
Anyway, yeah, pilfering time. Well, I haven't actually seen the Hardy Boy.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Yo. Girls. No, you're not. Yeah. Oh!
Get the sword away from there.
That is very much a close call.
It's a good thing cartoony science saved the day.
Yeah, and these villains are so incompetent.
Again, just like the Beagle Boys.
No, considering how dumb they are, the prison that they were in must have been even worse if they couldn't hold them.
Okay.
Yeah.
To their credit, I think they're smart when they're focused on a certain goal that doesn't involve a treasure. Greed makes you stupid.
He managed to feed all that.
She looks like she doesn't know how to react to that.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
Oh shit. Bye.
Ta-ta!
There you go, we finally managed to catch up as well. We. Ow!
At least that was his hand.
Yeah.
At least.
Unfortunately, this means that we need to leave the treasure that they had to empty behind. Oh well.
Guess it's better to leave free and alive than it is to die. The sad thing is that if it weren't for the bad guys, they'd have gotten home rich and free.
Even the Superman speech, because why not?
Da-
This is
da-da.
wonderful speech.
Well, like I said, you know, maybe this does take place in the DC Cinematic Universe. Well, not the DC Cinematic Universe, but the regular DC Universe.
Oh!
Now that is gonna leave a mark.
Bonk.
A bit of a family feud.
That family's always been dysfunctional, I think.
Yeah, it's just its logical conclusion.
Oh, see, they finally managed to kiss.
See, you held out and you got the reward. First base.
Your
Uh-oh.
first kiss was with your little brother.
Just enjoy the moment, don't think about that.
Oh god. Again, don't
Don't
get
ruin
petty
this.
or anything.
Don't ruin this for him, Shira. Come on.
Otherwise, he'll get mad and try and do the whole gauntlet plan.
So his little brother is the reason Infinity War happened.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's kind of like in Light Crusader, where the villain's entire motivation is blue balls.
Pretty much. Sure it was.
You're going overboard, lady.
Bad memories. Oops. Yeah. Whee!
Woohoo! I know that our lives may be at risks, but we.
Oh well. Whee! You're a terrible mother.
Yeah.
Could have told you that.
To say the least. Don't worry, Sugar's gonna get what's coming to her.
There may be a way out, but, you know, there's not enough light to see.
Anyone have some sonar vision?
Fortunately, the mother forgets about the rule and, yeah. Stealing from Will himself means the ultimate trap.
Yep. Bye-bye, fortunes.
I wonder what is the last candle?
Just a candle.
Yeah. Priorities. Wow, this galleon is so resistant.
Oh, resilient indeed. In fact, you know, honestly, that thing could be a national treasure if someone manages to just rope it up.
Oh. Oh. Oh well.
Aww.
There you go. It's finally time for the Inferno to take its last journey.
Yep. But, and journey it shall, unless someone manages to catch up with it.
How convenient! The police actually managed to get here in time.
Yep.
Yeah, I think one of these two is the director.
Yeah, whoever's the deputy.
Yep.
Fun fact also, the police has managed to bring the parents of almost practically all of them, and most of the parents here are played by the actual parents of their respective kid actors.
Probably for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Domino's Pizza. More product placement.
Yes, let's have one last power placement with Domino. There you go. Everyone learns something in his adventure or something.
And they all become better people for it.
There you go. Even the father of data has this invention. Aww.
Heartwarming indeed.
And there you go. Apparently, Mouth kinda wants to start a relationship with Andy's friend.
What kind of compliment is that?
It's the kind you just gotta roll with.
Yeah. Actually, you do. It's not psychology. Hey, just in time to be arrested.
Right,
Remind,
so.
yeah, these guys are still have to be convicted for multiple murders. So.
Yep.
That was a weird word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. He's adopting him.
And thankfully, he will not get any of the rep that his family have brought upon themselves.
Yeah. But of course, with the most unorthodox person wanting to evict the people because, time is on the essence.
About that.
And by the way, because you didn't know, it was also Troy's father, so makes sense. Oh my god!
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Oh, but Rosalita has found something.
Well, would you look at that?
Yep.
Turns out the marble bag may just have the gems they need.
I'm surprised she's still stuck around with them, honestly.
Yep. There you go. Pure gemstones. Yay! Yeah, about the octopus, it's a good time to mention it. There was a deleted scene that involved basically by the time the kids reach the ship before getting on top of it, they get attacked by an octopus. This scene supposedly was deleted because the octopus was fake as shit. So
Right.
the scene can still be found somewhere, but it's extremely rare. So even in the Blu-ray when we're watching, the Blu-ray cut is still not integrated. But they still kept the scene with Data talking about the octopus.
Considering how bad the green screen was,
Also,
I can't imagine how
that's
terrible the
Spielberg
CGI
behind that,
octopus
I
would
think.
be.
Yeah.
I don't think the movie loses anything though without it. So.
No, and it can be integrated as one of the kids over exaggerating the story anyway.
And well, yeah, because the person who did talk about it is a pathological liar, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yay! Oh god, yeah, that special effect was a bit terrible. And there you go, that's how the movie ends. Nice and easy. Alright, final thoughts. Pedro, you want to start first?
Yeah, this is a classic, of course. Like I said, this is basically a good old-fashioned 80s adventure with kids. Because again, there were a lot of movies that had similar plots back then in the 80s. This was basically when you see movies like Super 8 or shows like Stranger Things, now this is the kind of thing they're throwing back to. Just kids having adventures and having really wacky adventures and just being relatable, real kids. And it's just a really great movie all around because it's just the characters all feel genuine and they all have very well-defined personalities. The comedy's great. Like she always said, the green screen aged kind of badly, but that's perfectly forgettable. Forgivable. And with some great music as well. It's sad how this writer went on to give us Pixels. What the hell happened to you, dude?
The screenplay, yeah.
He got drunk.
That's the thing, Shiri. Chris Columbus kind of has a reputation of having part of his movies being really bad. I don't even... I guess he works in periods. I mean, he directed and produced Bicentennial Man, for example. God. Anyway, continue.
No, this is a really good movie. It's a classic, basically. It still to this day serves as a great movie to show how to write kids. Basically, this is the kind of movie you show to a writer in training, basically. Yeah, that's basically it. It's a really good movie to me.
All right, go ahead, Shiri.
This was a lot of fun, surprisingly. I mean, for a movie that started off with threats to mutilate children, I'm surprised how cartoony this actually was for the majority of it. And despite, the reception of this sort of thing being quite 50-50, the child actors were actually really good. Like, all of them. There isn't a single bad one, I don't think.
Also, it helps that most of a lot of the takes were also genuine in a lot of things, so...
They just let the kids
like I said,
be
this
kids.
isn't the only story to actually, direct children in that way, and from what I've seen from other works, it does actually work a lot of the time. So it's a really good approach.
Indeed.
But yeah, this was just a heck of a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Jova?
Anyway, Jova, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I had only seen this movie once before in my life, but it was still an unexpected bout of fun back then. Now, it's even more fun for me now that I definitely understand all the stuff being older. But yeah, this movie, it's... Well, okay, I think what helps is despite the more cartoony aspects, for the most part, this stuff feels just realistic enough for it to feel relatable with. I mean, sure, a lot of the stuff is uncanny, but technically there was no really mystical elements when you get down to it.
The only major thing are the traps being very implausible, but
the piano one.
Well, even the others, like the boulders... or the key that drops to the floor, for example. But I do believe that the suspension of disbelief is enough for you to believe this kind of thing.
This movie is very lighthearted anyway. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, that's just the thing. It's I feel like this movie is just realistic enough to the point where you don't have to stretch your sense of disbelief that much too, which helps because essentially when you get down to it, it's a movie about kids dealing with situations the best that they as kids can. And it really does make for a nice, believable enough story. Cliches aside, that it helps that they're allowed to act like themselves because a lot of it is improv.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Sherry said, this movie is just a great heaping amount of fun. Honestly, I think just about every actor in this movie is having fun. And yeah, it's nice, it's uplifting. It does actually manage to teach some good morals here and there, surprisingly. Yeah. And the music, of course, I do like me that soundtrack with that iconic tune.
Again, this composer is not really that famous, but I'm surprised by how iconic score for this movie managed to be, even while including the pop songs from Cyndi Lauper.
But yeah, and well, it's a movie involving pirates. That's nice. The cinematography here is epic. Like, definitely some of the best work I've seen from any of these three guys involved. And it's funny because a lot of it takes place in a cave, yet still makes for some pretty good wonder in there. And of course, that ending shot with the ship just perfectly tail ends it all. And, you know, it's a very nice and well-earned happy ending, if I do say so myself, considering to go through. So, yeah, it's an epically good movie. Recommend you see it. We'll probably see it again for Scream Generations for how much fun it was.
Anyway, that leaves me. The part of also the reason why I picked this movie for commenting is that back in the 90s, me, my sister also, well, and my friends used to watch this movie a lot. Like, it was one of those movies that it was a kind of, due to the swearing, it was half taboo. Like, our parents were not really okay in letting us seeing it. But a lot of times when we saw it, it was just put it up and like, whatever. And
Sorry.
and this time passed, we just accepted that we liked it, and that was it. I would say I have noticed here and there a lot of things that the Italian dub had to kind of localize, in a sense, but they changed a couple of the lines here and there to reflect a bit more. Some of the swearing is also being toned down a bit. For example, if I recall correctly, there's no real mentioning of the fact that the Chunk's family is Jewish. Don't understand why, but I could also be wrong, so don't quote me fully.
Well, here's the thing too. I don't know how it is in Italy, but here in Portugal, that particular joke, if this was dubbed, also would probably get changed because the Jewish jokes don't really work in Portugal because it's not like you'd be really hard pressed to find a Jewish Portuguese person.
Granted, I think Tio's mention is like, well, the fact that he was Jewish at all was removed, though. Like, you know, not so much just the jokes.
No, well, remember, at the end of the movie, his parents get around and his father has a mazel tov, I think.
Yeah. Again, like I said, that kind of thing we just fall on deaf ears in Portugal because we don't like Jewish culture in my country, like it's practically non-existent. So most people don't even know anything about it.
Point being that a couple of lines were re-altered. They still make sense in context, but we just change, I guess, for the sake of making more sense. But otherwise, this movie has a lot of fun. I know, growing up, I noticed the pacing in a sense that it's very slow at first. But when the proper adventure starts, when you get down that hole, everything starts going faster for the sake of, you know, having the journey conclude because it's the halfway point. We spend the first half getting to the beginning of the tunnel, and then it's go, go, go. Some of the plot points were not really too used, like Troy being a dick is just used for a couple of slapstick and that's it. But again, for they want to try to convey the fact that he's an idiot and gets properly what he deserves, it's fine enough. And like I mentioned, this movie was also very avant-garde in a couple of things, like having the cheerleader, main girl, not being completely stupid. She still get a couple of lines where she screams everywhere and she inadvertently alerted the bad guys, but otherwise she's still relatively smart and doesn't immediately fall in love with Brand. You get the scene where she kisses Mickey accidentally. That's nice, and also that scene that with her female friend that the actress commented upon in the Blu-ray. But so yeah, basically this movie is very enjoyable on multiple levels as it is, and even if the special effects and like this green screen and everything has aged very badly for today's standards, I do believe everything else in the movie aged fine enough. And also it serves as a good time capsule to see all these actors that nowadays we know for roles like we mentioned Josh Brolin as Thanos or Sean Astin as Samwise Gamgee, for example, seeing in such a different role. It's a great one thing that I appreciate particularly is to see these kind of at this point, old movies, to see what these actors that the new generation know for different roles used to do. It's similar to how my generation had to see people like, say, Sean Connery in his old age, when our parents were used to him as James Bond, for example. That's the kind of transition that I kind of want for. So yeah, definitely enjoyable. It's a good thing that this is one of the movies that I did not alter too much my perception of it when growing up, unlike Page Master. Just say that it's not a good movie. But
It's boring.
Yeah, and I would recommend if you know someone that hasn't seen it yet. So anyway, that's it for this. Stay tuned for, I guess, the NES video game one day, but I don't know.
And maybe our playthrough of
Wasn't
this
that
world
one made by LJN?
Possible.
Ugh.
So
and maybe
yeah.
our playthrough of the Goonies world in Lego Dimensions.
Oh yeah,
You know, the Lego game that has basically everything.
Wait, that's a
in it.
thing?
Yeah.
No. That's basically, long story short, Shiro, Lego Dimensions was a game that had the crossover with a lot of things, except on some very important. We'll get to it when we get to it. For now, see you for the next thing. See ya.
See ya.
See you then.
See ya.